future here. Now we're gonna be face to face, and I'll lay right down in my favorite place. And now I wanna be your dog, and now I wanna be your dog, and now I wanna be your dog. Well, come on. And now I'm ready to close my eyes. And now I'm ready to close my mind. And now I'm ready to feel your hand and lose my heart on the burning sand. And now I wanna be your dog, and now I wanna be your dog, and now I wanna be your dog. Well, come on.
And we're back. Needed no introduction. This one, I just wanted to get straight into it. And god damn, when this album came out, this first album, 15 years later, it made quite the splash. Because nobody liked it when it came out. The reviews were terrible. The people were saying it's like the worst guitar sound of all time. And then as time goes on, people realize what stunning art it was for the time, which is, you know, blowing people's minds. So remember, this was hippie times. This was the late 60s. Everybody on the forum says it's their worst tone that they love. And this is true for me as well. It's one of the best movie soundtrack snippets that I've seen on TV, where it was on the Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels movie, and that scene where he just lost at, spoiler alert, lost at cards, and he was like stumbling out to the place and this music was playing and it was just perfect. So there was something about this song. It's out of tune, it's just too much distortion, and then it kind of goes into this pillowy distortion, which took me a while to figure out. But what happens is usually, you know, you switch on a pedal. On this one, he switches it off. So it starts off, this is what I used. It's called the Really Cool Fuzz, or Real Cool Fuzz by Daredevil. And they actually put out his signature, I'm not sure if it's signature or some tribute or whatever pedal. And it's got, you can get a version of this which has his face on the front of it. And it's based on not the Vox Tone Bender, not the Fuzz Face, although he did use those in the past. But this is on the Moss-Wright fuzz pad. You know, there's a lot of misinformation online about which specific one he used, but this was the one that he used on that debut. And what else did he use? Crushing, pummeling, volume, which again, remember on the Hendrix video, the Marshall was so loud that it was causing rifts with the producer, Chaz Chandler. Well, in this case, when Ron came in and put everything on 10, the producer was almost crying. He couldn't believe how insane this volume was. So they had a compromise, and it's a beautiful compromise, where he turned it down to 9. And that is it, because they fought over it so long. So again, and why has it got a Marshall? Why is somebody in, was it Detroit, I think? Why do they have Marshalls? Again, because of Hendrix. Ron was a huge Hendrix fan. And he was so obsessed, he said, I just want to use the exact same amp, the same pedal, the same this, the same that. And so he got the Marshall Super Lead from late 60s. And that's what I used on this track. So I really nailed a lot of the gear. I know this isn't the Flying V, but a lot of people think he used P90s. He didn't. His Flying V, I had humbuckers in it. And that worried me for a little bit because I couldn't get the feedback. My issue with this is I think I got really, really, really close. But that extra 5-10% was gone because I couldn't turn it up to 9. Because if I did, I'd be losing, $1,000 worth of speakers, because I've only got a 2x12 of the greenbacks, and to get the full effect, I'm not going to put 100 watts, and it's a good 100 watts too. It's not, a solid state 100 watts. I'm not going to put that through two greenbacks because they will just disintegrate. So yeah, I think if I could have pushed it to 10, I think I would have been 100% there, and I would have got, because there's feedback in the beginning, and you saw me standing by the door because I wanted it open. I wanted it to get into my pickups and feedback, but the volume wasn't there. But I'm really proud of this. I mean, I was like, yes, this is awesome. Obviously, I'm missing things like recording to tape and the old compressors and the rest of it, because that really does pillow things out a bit. So mine, you can tell on mine, you can hear a little bit more dynamics out of it because of my circular tone pickups. No, because modern recording, there's less of a noise floor, and the rest of it, it's kind of more WYSIWYG, not being pillowed up. But I put it through a preamp, a 1073 Neve style preamp, and with EQ as well. People think that, and I thought as well, that I thought the pedal was straight into the board, just cranked, Beatle style, and that's how they got that intro. I tried that, and it was close-ish, but it wasn't as I think it was closer just from miking it up. When you think about it, they were kind of a simple band. It wasn't as if they knew all the ins and outs of the new ways to do things. They were pretty much let rip, because what you hear is the actual band played with the guitar sucked out of it, and then I put my guitars over it, because luckily it's a backing track on YouTube. On the isolated tracks, you can hear everything bleeding and all the rest of it. Some of that stuff that I'm obsessed about. It's that magic that's missing in modern metal, modern rock. So that's it. I have a lot of fun doing this one. I'm not the biggest Iggy and the Stooges fan. There's a lot of filler. Let's be honest. There's a lot of filler on some of these albums. But when they get it right, it's up there with the Beatles, with the Stones. It's up there with the best of them. And that was just it's what the 60s needed. Because remember what I say, where the current rock scene needs to die before we can make it better? I think something similar had to happen, in the 60s. With the hippie stuff was getting a little bit too long in the tooth, and that was the part of the powder keg that steered rock and metal and punk and everything that came after it that has 6 strings. Seminal stuff, dude. And they hated it at the time. I don't think you can find a good review of that album at the time. Correct me if I'm wrong. All right, chaps. So if you like that song, it was using my own pickups. You can buy them for $70 at circleoftone.com, and I also have merch, things like that at the website as well. So it really helped me out. Obviously, this one's going to get demonetized. All the work I put into it, it's gone. I won't get paid for it. So please, if you can help out the channel, become a patron of Tone. So let's see who the latest patrons are. Let me get my phone. Okay, so thanks to the new patrons of Tone, we got William P, we got PC Cooper, we got Tobias E, and Luke S. So thank you guys, really appreciate that. And you can keep these speakers flapping, even though fair use is still so sketchy. So I gotta figure out a way of how to make this work. But then again, it doesn't really matter because my videos don't get any views. So please share, if you know any punk fans, if you know any Stooges fans that would be interested in finding out how these tones were captured, then send them my way. I forgot to mention as well, there's pictures of all my settings and my microphones, and the inside of this booth is on Instagram, and all links are below. So what do you think? I know this is like a Marmite thing where you either love it or you hate it. So let me know in the comments, is it the worst fuzz in the world? Is it the best fuzz in the world? Or is it a little bit of all? So one little tip is the intro had the fuzz, and then as soon as the first verse kicked in, they turned the fuzz off, and then all you can hear is the Marshall as God intended. That God is Jimi Hendrix. Right, chaps? You have a good one. You've been great. Been loving the comments recently, and have a good one. Circle of Town.